Today we're going to need this, we're going to need our external monitor, we're going to need a controller, because this Powkiddy A13 does HDMI out. You can bring it to an external monitor. It also has USB ports on the back. It has an arcade stick built in, a 10-inch display, and many, many more. Built-in computer, ready to go, preloaded with games and everything else. So let's go ahead and check this out. Now, this company, Hekka, they were like, hey, you want to do another collab? I was like, yo, my channel likes, you know, emulation devices, things like that. So send me one of those. So we decided on this one. I haven't checked this one out yet. I've seen other people check it out. You got a, is this USB Type-C? I think this model's been out for a while. But, wow, yeah, it's USB Type-C. That's nice to see. I thought it would definitely be micro. And then it's got a little clamshell design here. Pretty thick. Kind of a thick boy here, but you open it up. It does have a screen protector on here. Let's go ahead and check that off. Ooh. And then you might be wondering, where's the arcade stick? Well, you have these little buttons here. You have a 3-watt speaker here. Each of these buttons have a little plastic on them as well. You gotta take that off. And then under here, it looks like a little 9-volt battery area, but it's actually where your joystick is. So you gotta, like, there you go, it drops it out. And you can just screw this on. Pretty cool. And then now it's a joystick. That is kind of cool. Now, on the back here, you've got all kinds of stuff. You got power. You got your USB Type-C power cable, your on and off button, your micro SD card for headphones, 2 USB controllers for control, for 2 USB slots for controllers, things like that, and then your HDMI out. Let's go ahead and turn it on. You got a little blue indicator light there. Prompts you with welcome. And here we go. So problem number 1 is the language. So you can see it has about half battery left. I did not mean, I accidentally hit A. I think I loaded this game up.
Here you go.
324 SNES. Alright, so that's what we got out here. We got Super Nintendo. You've got 324. Again, you can't read the games. You're gonna have to look at the little photos here, like Ninjas, Turtles in Time, for example. Moving over, you got Game Boy Advanced. You got 879 games. Jesus. So you got a huge collection there. PlayStation. Got 106 games here. Tekken 7, Siphon Filter, Diablo. It's so weird. Like, there's no way Diablo is gonna run good on this thing. Like, you're definitely gonna need to hook up a controller for that. Tomb Raider 1, 2. So, quite a bit of games here. And this should run PlayStation no problem without lag, things like that. 40 Neo Geo games. It's kind of disappointing that there's only 40. Game Boy, 204, including Tony Hawk. Family Computer, you got 1100. Okay, so all the Japanese games. Mega Drive should have 718, so that's quite a bit. And then Game Gear, you got 96. Final Burn Alpha, just 10. I imagine you have everything else in MAME then, or CPS. 1,000, right? You even have Zombie Raid on here. That'd be interesting to play with this joystick. Could you get a light gun to work on this thing? Maybe. Game Boy Color 161. Okay. And then what's here? So the arcade set is this first bottom here. 4,600 games. Which that's cool because you want this thing to play arcade games. So you got a ton of games right here without having to add anything else for your arcade desires. All right, now for hooking up a second controller. Now, most of you probably hook up a PS3 or PS4 controller or an Xbox 360 controller. I just hooked up a second arcade stick. I did find that if you're gonna hook up a second controller, you do want to turn the system on and then turn it back off, turn it off and then turn it back on again for it to reset.
but you can absolutely do that. I didn't have any problems with the arcade stick. I found a little bit of issues with the Xbox 360 controller. You can hit the back button while you're in a game and go into RetroArch and then play with the controls there, but it's running some custom firmware where you don't have full control over everything in there. So just keep that in mind. What's happening now in the video is I'm showing you it on an external hard drive. This is hot swap, or external monitor. This is hot swappable. So you can take in and out the HDMI cable to go from the 10-inch built-in monitor to right here I have a 15-inch portable monitor. It is running at 720p, so don't expect 1080p upscaling. But 720 on a small monitor like this, it looks great. For retro game, it looks great. That was a feature I was very pleased with. So I'm loving that. I did do a little bit of research on some custom firmware you can get for this thing. It's my understanding that back, last year when I was watching some videos on this, that the custom firmware drains the battery faster because it's locked on the max brightness. So it has its own shortcomings, but then it has a lot more customizability. You can add your own ROMs and things like that. So right now, with the Raspberry Pi being so expensive, and who knows how well this video is going to age, but right now with it being so expensive, this is a super good contender. You get the controls, the display, and the computer for around $100. Like, that's pretty impressive. Now, mind you, there's so many other devices on the market right now, but you're going to get a smaller monitor, things like that. So I'm super pleased with the overall package. I don't think it makes for very good platforming. I really think you need to do the arcade stick does not do like Super Mario World, things like that really well. I did want to show you this clip of PlayStation 1 just to show you the kind of performance you can expect. This thing can play PlayStation 1 all the way down. So your Sega Mega Drive, your Super Nintendo, all that stuff, just fine. No issues whatsoever. So middle of the road as far as performance. Controls, I would say, as far as like everyone asks, like, oh, how's the arcade stick? How are the buttons? They're fine. They're not bad, and they're not great. They're fine. I know everyone's like a stickler for that. I would say they're fairly springy and fairly responsive. A good amount. Nothing struck me as like, wow, this is so cheap it's gonna break, or it's not responding. So I would say a 7.5 out of 10 on that. The screen, I liked it a lot, for these games. They were stretched out to full screen. They were running really good. I felt they looked good. Now, some of you might like slightly different, but I think for the most people, it's going to be good to go. So for a cool little plug-and-play device, thumbs up. Another option for you. I love the clamshell design. I love how it's all in one. I love the fact that you can put it on an external display. So that's what I think. Let me all think. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you're interested, I'll put a link to Hekka, and catch you on the next one.